protests broke out in Anaheim, California, following an altercation with an off-duty police officer who fired his gun at a group of teens, but thankfully did not shoot or kill anyone as a result. Now, we have video of the incident, which we'll show you in just a second, but I want to give you context and more information about what occurred. So this all allegedly started when the off-duty police officer confronted a group of teenagers because they had walked across his property. Apparently, this is an ongoing issue for him that he's very angry about. And the teenagers alleged that he told one of the teen girls to get off his property and called her the C word, called her a cunt. And so at that point, one of the male teenagers, who's 13 years old, his name is Christian Dorscht, he confronted the cop and just stood up for the girl who was allegedly called a cunt. And then it led to the off-duty cop getting physical. Again, these are based on initial reports. There's a lot of he said, she said. I'm sure more details will come out, but let me tell you some more. So in one video, the boy says the encounter began when the officer cursed at the girl who walked across his yard, then grabbed the boy after he protested his language. With the officer grabbing the collar of the 13-year-old's sweatshirt, the two staggered across the lawn. "Let me go," the boy said repeatedly. At one point, someone rushes the officer, sending him over a row of bushes. The man then starts to drag the boy over the hedge as another swings at him. A few seconds later, as more people approach the two, the man reaches into his waistband and his jeans and draws what appears to be a gun. A single gunshot can be heard about 3 seconds later. So with that said, we do have video footage of this. There have been multiple videos posted both on Facebook and on YouTube. We found the best possible video available at the moment. And so let's take a look at the first clip.
Do it. I'm not fucking scared neither. Do it. If you're gonna say you're gonna do it, then man up and fucking
Take off
do
your
it.
shirt.
Let go of me for the last time.
No.
My dad's a cop, you know that. My dad's
I don't
a cop.
care. Let go, bro. I don't care if your dad's a cop. I'll explain it to him face to face.
How? You know what? I didn't say shit. You
If your
came up
dad's
to
a
me
cop,
like
have him come out
this.
here.
I just told you, you're screaming at a lady. I'm like, all right, you don't talk like a lady like that. You could have just clearly said, can you please get off my lawn? But you didn't. You're like, get off my lawn, you freaking cunt.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, you
I
did.
heard it.
Shut the fuck up. You weren't even there.
I didn't fuck me right here. Right here. I like to see it.
Now
Try
let
it.
go of me.
No, I'm not letting go of
Let
you.
go of me. It's not that hard.
I'm not letting go of you.
Let go of me. It's honestly not that hard. I'm self-defending myself. I don't care. Honestly, that's the hard to let go of me. You're the one who started it.
Dale los huevos.
Bro, just let the kid go, bro.
And then he tried hitting me with his chain.
No, they freaking call the cops on us for doing nothing.
I know, let the kid go, bro.
Let me go for the last time.
Bro, let him go.
Oh, we can catch you, bro.
Why are you recording? You're the one who's going to jail.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, he is an off-duty police officer. It's unclear whether or not he had let these kids know that he's a cop. But, you know, he won't let go of the 13-year-old. They're getting angry. The other teens are trying to protect the 13-year-old. But things start to get very shaky in the next video that we're about to show you. Okay, so let's take a look at that.
What the fuck?
Oh, hey, what the fuck? You're my love. What the fuck?
Oh, thank God somebody didn't get killed. It seems from the video, it's just, you saw it just the way I did, that he probably accidentally discharged the weapon. But that's why you don't take it out. And so if you're, it's amazing what people's perspectives will do, right? If you grew up in a situation where the cops are constantly harassing, you probably feel a lot of sympathy towards those kids. And in fact, a lot of people did because 300 protesters showed up the next day. We'll get to that in a second. But if you're looking at it from his perspective, and a lot of people in the country do, they look at it and they think there, but for the grace of God goes I, and these kids that are coming across my lawn, I'm gonna do something about it. This guy's got a Clint Eastwood complex, right? Oh yeah, you're coming across my lawn, I'm gonna show you what to do, I'm gonna grab you. He's a 13-year-old dude, let it go, man. So, okay, you got angry in the first place, I hear you, right? And then once it got weird and there's shoving back and forth. It's a 13-year-old. You're a cop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Handle it in the right way. And you don't get to do it just because you're a cop. Then I think for a lot of people from his perspective will go, well, there's a lot of dangerous kids that are surrounding him. Because they did. Somebody took a swing at him. You saw it clear as day on the tape. And then when the other kid comes around, if you're in his spot, you're starting to get worried. That's why you shouldn't have started in the first place. But it doesn't matter. You don't take out your gun on 13 to 15-year-olds on a mess you started. That's a terrible idea. One, because it could automatically discharge. And by the way, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Or you fire the gun because you got nervous. Neither one of those stories is a good story at all. So he should be in a lot of trouble, and now they're investigating it.
They're investigating it. There's an internal investigation within the police department, which usually happens, and then there's a separate independent investigation taking place as well. There's the 13-year-old. So look, I'm going to keep it 100. Everyone was pretty much wrong in this story, right? The way that the teenagers handled it was wrong. The way that the adult in this story handled it, the off-duty police officer handled it, wrong. Don't pull out your gun. That was a really dumb idea. But I think that right now, one of the most important things to teach kids and just teach adults in general is that everyone's on edge and everyone's angry and everyone's ready to attack one another, okay? And so we've experienced it firsthand. These kids experienced it because they walked across someone's lawn allegedly. We need to not give in to provocation, and I get that it's hard. So I don't know whether or not this off-duty cop called a girl a cunt, right? But you got to teach your kids, just let it go. Because this guy is crazy and he might have a gun, right? He might actually hurt you. In road rage incidents, someone cuts you off or does something crazy and scares you, whatever it is, let it go. Don't get angry about it. And believe me, that's a difficult thing for me to learn because I'm a passionate person, right?
Yeah. But the ultimate responsibility is with
the adults. Yes. So I was getting to that. Sorry to interrupt you. But yeah, it's the adults. So in this case, you have a bunch of like 13, 14-year-olds. They're kids. They're kids. And so once you see that the issue is escalating to a dangerous place, let it go. Let the 13-year-old go. And if you think that these kids are problematic, why don't you call the cops or call for backup? Do whatever you think it is necessary to protect yourself. You don't have to do it by pulling a gun out and potentially killing one of these kids over something as stupid as someone walking across your lawn.
So two different issues here. One is that if you're a police officer, you don't have the right to assault people when you're off duty. Now, if you're in a situation where you've got your uniform on and you're on duty and you're in a hostile situation, we as the citizens have given you authority to use some degree of force. And that is within certain constrained confines for good reason, because we've given you a gun and a badge, etc. When you're off duty, you can't just grab people and assault them. That's not allowed. If he was not an off-duty police officer, but he was just some angry dude, you can't come out and grab some 13-year-old, even if he's pissing you off by crossing your lawn, and start roughhousing him and manhandling him and leaving the bruises that he left on him, right? That's assault. It doesn't matter what if you're an off-duty doctor or an off-duty police officer.
Yeah, and by the way, let me ask a question, and I genuinely want to know what you think about it. So at what point does it become self-defense, right? So he's an off-duty cop, and he's grabbing onto this 13-year-old who, by the way, you should watch the full video, who keeps repeatedly begging him, let me go, let me go, let me go. He has his hands on this person, right? We are supposed to have the right to defend ourselves if we feel physically threatened. So, you know, I was assaulted late last year while I was on a hike. Some guy got into a verbal altercation with my husband, and then I was recording it, and as I was recording it, he ran up to me, grabbed my phone, pushed me to the ground, right? So at that point, after he has physically assaulted me, am I allowed to defend myself, right?
Of course you are, but that's why it's a mess.
Yes.
So, and they're not going to follow the regular rules, so what happened in this incident? They immediately arrested the 13-year-old and the 15-year-old that took the swing at the guy. Did they arrest the guy who started the assault in the first place? Of course not, because he's a cop. So now they're investigating him now, which they should, but their reflexive action is, well, that the cop's our buddy. Of course we're not going to arrest him right away. Even though he assaulted you, we're going to arrest you right away. Yeah. Right away. We're not going to ask questions about that.
By the way, look, there were teenagers involved, as you saw in the second video that we showed. that did assault the cop. One of them threw a punch. And so that's not right. And so I have no problem with that kid getting arrested as a result. But let me give you more details about...
Let me just finish the thought here. The 13-year-old has been released. That's good. But if it was a normal situation and it's not an off-duty cop, and you were going to go around arresting people for this fight, you would arrest the guy who grabbed the kid in the first place. That's the initial assault. And then I don't think you would arrest a 13-year-old because he was assaulted, and at best what he did was self-defense. And you would arrest a 15-year-old who took a swing at the cop,
That's right?
And then you would sort it out, okay? And then you go through the legal proceedings. Now, as I said earlier, it's like getting into a fight with a homeless guy. There's no winning, right? If you're an adult and you get in a fight with a 13-year-old, there's no winning. Because at best, what did you do? Kick the 13-year-old's ass? Okay, so that is so irresponsible of any adult, let alone an off-duty cop. The fact that he's an off-duty cop doesn't make it better, it makes it worse.
That's right. So 2 teenagers were arrested. The 13-year-old was arrested on suspicion of battery and making criminal threats. He has been released, though. And a 15-year-old was arrested on suspicion of assault and battery. Now, the off-duty officer will remain out of the field until what's known as a 72-hour briefing, when Chief Charlie Beck reviews the initial inquiry into the case and determines whether the officer can return. Also, as a result of this incident, there have been protests in Anaheim. People have been arrested as a result of that as well, because some people damaged property and did things that they shouldn't have done. Police said that they arrested 23 people for misdemeanor failing to disperse, resisting arrest, and battery on a police officer. 18 adults and 5 juveniles were arrested.
So what I found to be super amazing about the reaction to the story is 300 people showed up to protest immediately. So the internet is on fire, man. The minute that people see it online, they're gone. They're out there. They're already in the streets. So it's a whole new world. In the old days, this would have to go on the local news, and then they'd have to, somebody would have to organize something, and then a day and a half later, if it's moving super fast, something would happen. They see the video online, boom, all of a sudden there's 300 people protesting. And then they've got a reaction on their hands. In the old days, there wouldn't have been any cell phone video. There wouldn't have been any news on online. That cop would have roughed up those kids. He'd have fired that shot, and it would have gotten brushed under the rug. And then everybody would have blamed the kids, and they probably would have charged the kids, and we'd have been done with it. But now, because of the internet, we see you. Let's put some watchers on the wall. Investigative journalists to run down the Trump administration and the establishment. You can make that happen. TYTnetwork.com/go.